Oh, hello everybody. It's Jen from Caketastic Cakes. I'm going to show you on my holiday edition here how to make this cute little Christmas tree cake. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It would be a lovely present for me. Okay, I'm going to show you guys all the steps on how I did this. This is a pound cake. People have been asking for recipes, so I'm going to show you one that I like to do. Okay, I'm going to make, the recipe will make 2 full loaves, so you need 2 loaf pans. You'd get your pans, grease them up with a little Crisco, and set them aside. Okay, I'm also going to give you all of the ingredients and the amounts. That was 2½ cups of sugar right there. And then you're going to also add 2 sticks of butter. So you need 1 cup of softened butter. It does have to be softened, otherwise it just doesn't mix right. And it's awful. So if you do tend to forget to soften your butter, like I kind of do sometimes, and you try to put it in the microwave, keep your eye on it. If it gets too runny, then it screws up your recipe. You can't use it. They have to be softened. That was 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and that was 5 large eggs. Okay, so everybody's with me here. Stick them all in your mixer, turn it on, and mix it on low speed. And you're going to keep it on low speed for only about 30 seconds. You just want to cream everything together. Okay, and make sure you scrape the sides, get all your sugar and everything mixed in there evenly. After the 30 seconds, everything's mixed up. You're going to whip it on a high speed for 5 minutes. You actually have to do the full 5 minutes. It makes it light and fluffy. Like I said, it kind of whips it up. It gives it a different texture, almost more like icing. That is, in my red bowl there, 3 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And what I'm doing is I'm adding a little bit of that dry mix to the bowl, and then also adding a little bit of 1 cup of milk, a little at a time. Go back and forth. So it's a cup of milk, a little bit of flour, the milk, the flour. And keep on mixing at a gentle speed, maybe 1 or 2 on the setting, until you blend the two together nicely. You don't want to overmix it at this point, because then you will start to beat down all that fluffy whipped upness that you did before. So I cut out a lot. It was a lot of adding flour and then adding milk and then adding flour and then adding milk and then mixing the two together. And you can kind of see here the texture of it. It's almost like a real thick pancake batter, I'd say. And again, every once in a while, you got to turn it off, scrape the sides, make sure you get all the moisture or whatever stuck to the sides or the bottom back mixed into the rest of your mix. And once you scrape it, you got to mix it all up again. Again, not too long, not too fast, just for another minute or so. You don't want to overdo it. In the meantime, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, you're preheating your oven to 350 degrees, okay? 350. It's going to bake for about an hour. Of course, temperatures and times vary, la. When you fill your pans, you're going to fill them just over halfway. You don't want to go too much more than that because it could overflow. Anything less than that, and it's just, wasted space. You got more room that you could put more batter in. So there you go. Put it in there, slish it around, and then off to the oven. Take it away. And there it goes. Goodbye. Okay. While it's baking, I got just a regular old round cake plate. You can buy them anywhere, Walmart, whatever. And some red fondant. This is fondant, not gumpaste, guys. Roll it out thin and then just lay it right over top of your plate. And what I do is I set it on top of my can of Crisco so that the sides will dangle off. And then using my knife, I'm trimming underneath of it so that the fondant comes across the top and also wraps around the sides so you don't see the cardboard side either. It gives it a nicer, cleaner look, and it just looks a lot better than seeing corrugated cardboard sticking out the side of your cool little Christmas display here. So all I did was press up against the bottom of it and trim it off and then put it to the side. Okay, there's my pound cake. I only used 1. You could use both if you want to make a really big one. You could use 2, make them into 2 cakes. Turn them on their sides, stack them, however you want to do it. This is just a great cake for sculpting because it's, like I said, it's dense enough that it holds its shape. I'm basically turning this thing into a bullet. It looks like the bullet from Mario, kind of, when you're done carving at it. You only want to trim about halfway down, just trim off the edges. I'm using a serrated steak knife, so you don't need anything fancy to do this here. It's not a big deal. Okay, so there you go. Just trim, 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 just the one side. Trim it off, and I know it's flat on the two sides. It's not very round like a tree, but we're going to fix that with icing. So don't worry about that too much right now. And once you get the shape that you like, yeah, then you're good. So if you trim too much, though, you end up with less cake. So I try not to trim too much. I'm going to show you guys how to make a real quick and easy icing. I call it buttercream. It's not true buttercream. You're using butter and you use cream, so there you go. All right, that's 2 sticks of butter, once again softened. It's a shot of vanilla extract. I'd say maybe a teaspoon and a half, 2 teaspoons. And I just gave it maybe a 1/4 cup of milk there. Just dumped some in. And this is powdered sugar. It's a bag of Domino powdered sugar. I probably dumped in half of it if I had to guess. This is more to the texture that you're looking to work with. I'm going to want more of an icing that's going to stiffen up and hold its shape, which is why I'm going with this one. Real buttercream, the kind that will stay soft even later on. You have to boil it, and honestly, it's a pain. So if you're going to cover it with fondant or something, and it's not going to be on the outside, or if, don't bother. Go with something that tastes really good and will save you a lot of time. So like I said, I literally added milk, butter, vanilla extract, and powdered sugar. And now I'm adding green food coloring, and I mixed and mixed and mixed. And the more you mix it, the more whipped up and fluffy it's going to get. And you can see here it's nice and stiff. That's what I'm going for, because when we make the little peaks on the tree, you don't want them to sag too much. Of course, it's going to a little, but you want it to be as stiff as you can do it. Now a little bit of green on the cake plate, and oh, I forgot to mention, I cut the bottom end of the cake loaf off just so it would stand flat. I'm sorry about that, guys. I forgot to mention that. And here I am using a really big pastry tip that you would normally use for decorating cupcakes, and it turns out that this was a really bad tip to use. So I just wanted to show you that, the tip makes all the difference. And if you make a mistake like this, don't worry about it, because you can hide it, you can cover it. It's not a big deal. I switched, I want to say this is my number 2 tip. I don't remember, I'm sorry guys. I'll try to look it up though and let you guys know. And you squeeze it tight when you first, have it up against the cake. And as you pull away from the cake, let off the pressure. That's going to create the little peak, the little tip that comes out the end. And see what I'm doing here? Like I said, make your bottom ring of icing around your cake into a circle, and then you're going to fill that in with the icing. Remember I said that the cake is flat, so it's not going to be a true circle. This is how you do it. This, I didn't bother doing it with the back, so just pretend you don't see that side. But the rest of it is just the same idea. You want to pull it out far. See, I'm kind of making them come out pretty far. Squeeze and pull, over and over and over. And after you do a few layers, you're going to get the hang of it. So I did the whole thing like that. It's not worth showing you because it's a lot of squeezing and pulling. When you get to the top, as you can see here, always go from the bottom to the top, guys. Never do it the other way. You're just going to kind of spiral in on yourself. I wanted to show you how I kind of do that. So you just keep going in on itself more and more and more and more and more. It's like a 8th grade essay where you have to use 150 words, more and more and more and more and more. And then you are done. Okay, so that's how you do it. You just fill it all in like that. Just spiral it all in. Now, if you have any spots that don't look good, like they're a little too thin because it is flat on the sides, maybe it didn't fill it out enough, go back over it and fill it in again. Just stick your tip in anywhere between the other blades. See how I'm doing that? I'm going between the other ones. And just fill it in, start building it out. Okay, and that's it. Don't let it set for too long before you start putting decorations on, because that icing does get stiff quick, like I said. So you got to start sticking those decorations in. I went to a local store and I found a variety pack of Christmas decorations for cakes and cupcakes, like the sprinkle pack, with all the little cubbies in it. So I picked up one of those. I've got different colored beads. I've got holly leaves, stars, trees, ribbons. I think there's gingerbread men, little swirly doodads, candy cane, like you can see it right there. Decorate the heck out of your tree, stick it all over, and you're good. This is a star. It's just gum paste, white gum paste, little star cutter, And I'm using edible silver glitter spray that you can get anywhere in the cake decorating sections. Stick it on and boom, you've got yourself one festive, super cute Christmas tray. Happy holidays, guys. Hope you like this video. I will catch you all next time. Bye.